about me? Aren't you gonna kill me?
Just enough for me to run towards knowing nothing in this world.
To me, and the only thing that came out of her mouth was, "You owe me," and she walked out. Desperately wanting to still feel like the kid and still feel like I had parents to lean on. I
Will ever break my heart again.
The happy pills.
The happy pills.
She handed it to me on the time, finding good therapists, being willing to reflect, check in with yourself.
Yeah.
You know,
Poor girl. There's so much about yourself you don't even understand. Your brain is not like the others, Claire. You are not like the others. You're different. You're special. And I couldn't kill you even if I wanted to. You can never die. And now I guess neither can I.
Hayden Panettiere dead at 36, and now the suspected reason why revealed.
I was deeply saddened by this because I felt like Hayden Panettiere has such a spark. She's such a gifted young lady that it's just a shame.
From movies like Remember the Titans, TV shows like Hero.
Hold on. This looks like 70, 80 feet. It's so unreal.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. Claire? Oh my God. Claire!
TV shows like Nashville. Now I'm gonna tell you, Heroes was my stuff, y'all. I love it. You know, y'all, anybody who knows me know I love a good supernatural, enhanced human abilities type of movie, okay? But I didn't watch Nashville because when they rebooted Heroes, I really wanted her to go back. And I think that what we're gonna do is we're gonna eventually get into how being a performative child for a accolades and opportunistic parent affects your development and your identity. So what troubles me the most about this entire situation is not even just she was young and she passed away young. It's the fact that she was never vindicated or validated in this lifetime in the way in which I believe all humans deserve
that's the only
to
thing that came out
have.
of her mouth. And thinking back on it, I think it was really powerful, the location that it happened, because I was on the set of Heroes and I was surrounded by a very protective group of a crew and my co-stars, and it gave me somehow the strength at 19 years old to ask her to stop by, and I said, I don't want to work with you together anymore. I just want you to be my mom. And she just looked at me, and the only thing that came out of her mouth was, "You owe me," and she walked out. Uncomfortable feeling of the role reversal and desperately wanting to still feel like the kid and still feel like I had parents to lean on. I didn't want, even when I was a kid, I was scared of the dark.
Born, your mom jokes that you came out of the womb saying, "Thanks, I got it from here."
Yeah.
Which is sort of a telltale about you were feisty from the very beginning.
Yeah.
You say by the time you were 5, you had done 50 commercials. Your mom, from what I read, also was an actress.
Mm-hmm.
I did a video a couple months back about Michael Jackson and how Joe Jackson nearly destroyed Michael Jackson with his authoritarianism, his cruelty, his performance and achievement-based parenting style, and what that did to crush the spirit of Michael Jackson. And some people believe that he didn't almost destroy Michael Jackson. He did destroy Michael Jackson. Now, on this channel, we talk about relationships a lot. Relationships with romantic partners, relationships with yourself, and relationships with your parent. And I believe that your relationship with your parent is inextricably linked to what your relationship with yourself will be. Now, many will say, well, you're grown, you're an adult, you should be able to figure that out. And yes, we will have to be the ones to take the reins in figuring out the challenges that we face, why we face those challenges, and fix those challenges once we are an adult. But what I'm interested in is why these challenges occur, the root of the problem. Because you see, many people think that once you become rich and famous, your life is just going to be a ball. You're going to be having fun all the time. You're going to be free. You're going to like life. Everything is going to go great. And in some ways, that is true for some people. But I think the context here is it's truest most for people who made the decision, who decided they wanted to be rich and famous, who decided this is the lifestyle for them. Hayden, like many other child actors, don't have the luxury of making that decision. And I think that's the single most important step. Hayden talked about being an actress at 8 months, having done 50 commercials and acting work by the time she was 5 years old. We talk about grooming, but this is a form of grooming that grooms a child to be gratifying and performative for their parent. When you are taught that things are transactional and that your parent will show you love once the transaction is complete and you have successfully completed the transaction, it teaches you that love is conditional. It also teaches you that you as a person is not good enough. You have to perform. And in Hayden's case, she had been performing her entire lifespan. She never got to take the mask off and see who she really was underneath it all. To me, that is a tragedy.
And my mom trying to explain to me that this corporation she set up, paid for the cars, the lease on the cars, and the cell phone bills because it was a tax write-off.
Right.
And I remember that role reversal being incredibly uncomfortable for me. Where
again, people think that because you're financially well off and you have options and you've been seen on TV and you're famous, wow, that's the way I would want to live. If you get to sit down and think to yourself, that's the way I want to live, and you make that decision, it makes the journey worth it. But when you don't get to make that decision and you have a parent that is living vicariously through you, the fame can be overwhelming. Because again, you have to perform for your parents and you have to perform for an audience. You are constantly in go mode. You are constantly having to achieve certain things in certain accolades for individuals to show you love. Then the individuals that are around you from your childhood are generally opportunistic at minimum, predatory at maximum.
Nerves.
the happy pills.
The happy pills.
She handed it to me on the side of the carpet that I was about to go down, and it wasn't even a question or an offer. It was just, and this was somebody that I trusted so wholeheartedly to protect me, and it never crossed my mind in that moment that she would put me in a position of harm in any way. And it was just like, this is a happy pill. It'll give you energy and it'll make you it will make you feel great.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think twice.
And I think that when a child does not see the beauty and the magic that they possess as valuable, it plays a heavy toll on their self-worth. A heavy, heavy toll that nobody should have to endure. And I believe it devours their light within. And when it devours their light within and they're constantly masking, constantly performing, I believe that can lead you down the road of constantly using substances to distract away from the real you. One of the things that I pride myself on, and one of the things that I constantly tell people about, is being authentic, self-integration, wholeness, those things, shadow work, and remembering that you as a human do not have to depict perfection in order to be worthy. You simply just have to exist, obviously not to harm anyone, but when you tap into the beauty inside of you, it doesn't mean you just sit around and do nothing and never contribute to society in a meaningful way. It means that you respect and honor your spirit within. And that is something that I think that a lot of people miss the opportunity to do this when they are raising and rearing children. You have to look at their spirit within, and you have to connect the dots of what their spirit within needs. And in Hayden's case, her spirit within needed a mother. someone that was nurturing, someone that was warm, someone that cared about her individual life. People don't know how lucky they are to have that when they do have that. But that was not the reality for Hayden. She inferred that her mother was cold, calculating. And if she performed well, there was praise. If she did not perform well, there was hell to pay. How does that affect your psyche? Well, again, you get low self-worth. You get to be a people pleaser. You don't really know who you are because you're always performing. You've been surrounded by opportunistic people at minimum, so you don't even know when someone is being opportunistic and or predatory. These are the things that you will miss because no one is telling you that your human spirit is good enough. In Hayden's last few interviews, I could feel her pain. The brokenness was on her. And I think that she was just trying to realign her spirit. And this is not to rag on her mother because I've read things about her father too. It seems she grew up in a tumultuous household. Sadly, she lost her brother years ago. And you know, she didn't say in terms of the interview much about her father, but I have seen very troubling things about her father as well. And one thing I was telling people the other day is that you can have a parent who is cruel to you, mean to you, and doesn't understand or align with you, and then you go to the other parent and they're so nice, soft, kind, and the brain needs to feel like you have somebody on your side. But in my opinion, the parent that is not calling out the other parent's behavior is actually doing the child a disservice and contributing to the poor mental health that the child will eventually have because they feel constantly rejected by the other parent. This is not to rag on parents, but it is to call out the truth. It is to speak the truth on shit that we often sweep under the rug. It is the fact that this girl was longing for an emotional connection with her mother. It is the fact that she was in so much pain and suffering, and the person that could have potentially got her to reverse this pain, at least in some small way, did not come to her rescue, did not come to her aid. And they have that right, even though ethically and morally we can all turn our nose up at it and scoff at it. But unfortunately, Hayden was not able to find the love within to actually deal with and process that level of rejection. I tend to veer on the side of reparenting is an important aspect of the rebuilding of yourself from the ground up. So, I mean, I love Hayden. She was awesome in Heroes. Like I said, I didn't get to watch Nashville much because I really wanted her to come back to Heroes. But as far as I could see, and at least from the characters and the person that she showed herself to be on TV and on the blogs, she had a beautiful soul.
Hayden Panettiere in a deeply personal conversation. After years of growing up in the public eye and making headlines for the painful struggles in her life, Hayden is opening up about surviving domestic violence, postpartum depression, addiction, and loss.
Yeah. You're 30 years old, Hayden, and a doctor is telling you you won't live to see 35.
Yeah, if you do not stop immediately.
She deserved to live a life where she knew that she was loved and she was valued. And I'm just so sorry that she didn't get to do it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Have a wonderful day. Peace.
Typo, yeah, that's a liability. Hit the gas, boosting my adrenaline, bit from Percocet, yeah, Miley Percocet.